right now 2-2, which I think we all kind of expected. Well, no, I mean, before the season, I can't remember what exactly it was, but I think I had the Colts as a win and the Rams maybe as a loss.
Yeah, I think so.
This is the stretch, though. There's a 5-game stretch where the Bears should go 3-2, potentially 4-1. And if they could do that, then we're in the mix.
All right, hey, before we get started, I want to talk about the beer sponsor of this show. And you guys already know that it's Miller Lite. From defending your favorite team after a bad loss to obsessively checking your fantasy lineups, football fandom is bigger than just Sundays. Miller Lite knows the passion that comes from rooting for your team. And like the debate that started in 1975, great taste versus less filling. So what's the best thing about the original light beer? Let it be both. Miller Lite keeps it simple, undebatable quality, great taste, only 96 calories. It's a beer that strips away everything you don't need and holds on to what matters most. The original light beer since 1975. You and I had some nice ice-cold Miller Lights during the Bears game.
I wanted to do a nice gesture, something that would hit home for you. I got there a little bit earlier, had one waiting for you.
Yes, it was nice. I pulled up.
That was a nice move.
A tall boy. I was like, who's this? He's like, that's for you.
That's you, man.
I was like, that's nice of you.
Yeah.
And honestly, set the tone for the game.
Yeah.
So that was good.
Preparation.
Yes.
Yeah.
Good job, Chief. Make your game time taste like Miller time. Tastes great and less filling. Let it be both. To get Miller Lite delivered right to your door, visit MillerLite.com/midshow, or you can find it pretty much anywhere that sells beer. Just make sure you celebrate responsibly. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. 96 calories per 12 ounces, fewer calories and carbs than premium regular beer. All right, week 4, Bears beat the Rams 26-18. Did I get that right? 24-18. Sorry. Regardless, it was much easier to get out of bed this morning than it was the last 2 weeks.
Yes.
Did you feel that way?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
It looked good at times. It looked bad at times, but it looked good. Like there's progress. Dave, are you feeling that?
Yeah, totally.
I thought we were going to win this game, and then we won this game. That's what felt good about it.
And all 3 phases were pretty effective, sans the penalties.
Yes.
Yeah, penalties are a problem. But yeah, Eddie and I, when we went to DraftKings for the first half yesterday in Wrigleyville, which is an awesome spot.
It is
It's a sweet spot. Yeah. And we both sat down. I'm like, I actually feel better about the Bears, and I think they're going to win today. And Eddie, who's normally the Eeyore, he's like, I actually feel good too.
Yeah.
Like, what's going on here? And then pretty complete win.
Yeah, I walked in being like, I think we're going to win this game, and that's what happened. And the offense had 2 touchdown drives in a row. Running game looked good. DeAndre Swift turns out just bullying him online for a week is all he needs.
Hey,
he had more yards
him.
yesterday than he's had in the first 3 weeks of the season.
He was averaging like 1.3 a pop the first 3 weeks.
Yeah.
He's the first guy this year to have 70 receiving and 70 rushing in the entire league.
Yep.
And he's the first Bear to do it since Jeremy Langford in like 2015.
Remember
We're the
that
worst.
name?
Fans are the worst. We're so bad.
But no.
No, we bullied him into.
And you know what? I did appreciate last week when he showed accountability and he's like, I've been ass. Yeah. I got to be better. And you know what? He went and I got to give some props to the offensive line. Obviously, it's dog shit. However,
it makes me a little nervous that we played better without Tevin Jenkins, though.
Yeah, that's
very
weird.
Yeah.
That is weird. Isn't
Maybe
it?
Nate
I think
Davis
it's a coaching
finally
problem, but
fucking got it together.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on, but like you would think that with our depleted talent level at offensive line, Tevin Jenkins needs to be in there to have a good day running the football, and it was the opposite.
Yeah,
I don't think we had any Nate Davis lowlights either that I can remember.
Yeah.
There wasn't like the offensive line. I don't think it was good. But if you can get that out of them week to week where they're just like passable.
I also saw a stat just now.
There we go.
Caleb Williams was, I think, #1 passer rating in the
league. He was
under pressure.
124 passer rating when under pressure and with people in his face yesterday. That's awesome. So you don't see that out of rookies.
All right, so I had a couple Caleb Williams thoughts, but I also need to say that Shane Waldron, as much as I don't like him so far, it does – the fact that he's making changes makes me optimistic that, like, because that's really what it comes down to is, like, you can get stuck with a bad offensive coordinator and he's like, this is just my way of doing things. I'm going to keep doing it. I'm going to keep throwing my head through a wall. That goal line with Roschon was the change. Like, that was Indianapolis, week 3, one of the worst 4 play calls in a row on the goal line. Then this week, they bring in Kramer to play fullback. They bring in Roschon Johnson. They put Caleb under center, And there's the difference.
Yeah,
So I'm okay as long as he's okay with like, hey, maybe my way's not working. And I guess there was a meeting this week where they all like Caleb, Mercedes Lewis,
DJ,
and Cole Kmet, and DJ all went to him, was like, you got to be more aggressive. As long as the coaching staff knows that they have to like be better, I can give them more of a leash when it comes to the criticism.
Totally. And that was like, if you did the Men in Black, you saw that formation on the goal line. Like maybe we did hire Harbaugh.
Yeah,
like that was like bully football, big boy football, and they got it done. So that was great to see. That was a market improvement where it makes me feel a little bit better. Where it's like now you look, it's like all right, we can go on a little bit of a run with this group.
Yeah, I mean it sucks that it took a bad 4-set series, against Indianapolis to figure that out when everyone at home sitting there knew that was the way.
Correct.
But credit
they
to
said
Shane
they practiced it
Waldron.
all week. Yeah.
He figured out how to get 1 yard when we need it.
Yeah, which is like, just do that.
Just
do that every time.
Yeah,
don't do shotgun. Don't do weird shit. As for Caleb, the two throws that stick out to me, obviously the Cole Kmet throw over the middle, and then the DJ Moore touchdown. Those are the throws that is why I am staying steadfast in my belief of him as a quarterback and why I think he's going to be great, because like those throws are throws we didn't see from past Bears quarterbacks. Like those are special type of throws where he puts it pinpoint accuracy in a spot only his receiver can catch it, 20 yards down the field.
Yeah, and it was like even like the pre-snap reads where it's like I got DJ Moore and a linebacker.
Yeah.
I'm throwing it to him and like put it right there, right where it needed to be, like you said. It was beautiful. And I even love like the little dump off check down stuff with DeAndre Swift where it's like
the screen game worked a little.
And he's not forcing it.
Yep.
He stayed steady in the pocket and then was like, all right, there's nothing there. Swift.
This is and I know we're obviously biased and I'm not making this like Caleb versus anyone else in the league, but it's pretty clear that he has a lot of autonomy at the line of scrimmage.
Very clear.
And that's very rare for a rookie in week 4 of the NFL. A lot of rookies, a lot of second-year guys like, hey, these are the calls we're going to run whatever we send in. But like there was one where we were backed up where he just changed the whole formation and checked into a run that got, like 4 or 5 yards, but it's like what rookies do? Like not many rookies are able to do that and change the play at the line of scrimmage.
One thing that I noticed, someone brought this up on Twitter during the Indianapolis game, and we were at the game, so it's a little more difficult to see in real time, but I did notice this weeks 1 and 2 is that he was constantly asking for the play, trying to get into a quicker rhythm and quicker pace.
Yeah.
And this week, I was specifically looking for that because I couldn't see it in Indianapolis, like I said. I was specifically looking for that, and you could see that Waldron was keeping pace with him and that Caleb Williams wants to play at that high tempo. Right. So like we talked about last week how a lot of the fixes, at least in my opinion, it was just snap your finger and do it. Like run the ball out the fucking middle when you're on the 1-inch line. Shit like that. But that was the kind of like subconscious underneath the game stuff that I noticed this weekend. I thought that like if I could give out a game ball on offense, I would have absolutely given it to, if it was a player, DeAndre Swift, and then Waldron. Waldron coached his ass off. And good for him.
I think it's also important that we're not having wandering eyes with other QBs.
Yes.
Specifically the one that went number 2.
Everyone wants me to do that, especially because PFT, and I get it. Jaden
Fun to
Daniels
do that.
Looked incredible.
Yeah, he's looked awesome.
Looked incredible. Like people are trying to put on me like, oh, you're mad. I'll let you know if I'm mad. It's when I think Caleb Williams isn't the guy anymore.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, why would I care if he has an incredible quarterback? And I also think I have an incredible quarterback. Has it been a little slower for Caleb Williams? But nothing has changed that I've seen from Caleb Williams where I'm like, oh, that's bad.
Right. What did you think of the end of the first half? Because that series where
you looked at me, you're like, oh, that was a bad throw. That makes me nervous.
Yeah, he still misses a couple.
Yeah.
But so does everyone. So does Mahomes.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Totally.
And we don't even know what their route was with DJ because it looked like he kind of slowed up too.
So. Oh, that's the pass you're talking about?
It was that one and the one
that
before.
was completely on DJ Moore when they showed the replay.
I thought it was more 50-50 than people are making it out. Like DJ Moore's a
villain. Might not have been
stop his route, but I don't
Yeah.
think it was going to be catchable. And then the one before that to Rome was out of the back. Rome got held, but it was still out of the back of the end zone by like 4 yards.
Yeah.
So I think he's still leaving.
I think he gets a little juiced up in.
Yeah.
and
but he's settled in.
And it's also circumstances matter. I mean, you see it
Yeah.
right now with Sam Darnold. Like, I think Cliff Kingsbury is one of the best play callers there is. Like, he's not a good head coach, but he's an elite play caller. And Jaden Daniels, that offense is just humming.
It's cooking.
And their offensive line is playing a lot better than they expected. PFT said that to me yesterday. So I don't. There's obviously
Nate was trying to be like, our offensive line is not good either. I'm like, I have eyeballs.
Yeah,
I'm watching these.
They're playing a lot better.
Yeah.
And I just. And Kyle Long even said it. They have some guys, some veteran guys that like know how to play winning football and work as a team, whereas the Bears don't really have that. And they look, I think the offensive line is a coaching problem more than anything at this point. I know there's like I've harped on it. Obviously, Ryan Poles needs to address it significantly in the offseason, but I'm a big believer like you got what you got.
Mm-hmm.
Figure out a way to coach them up because you can get better if you can coach better during the season. So that's where I'm like Chris Morgan, like he needs to it's a coaching thing right now because you don't have any fixes. No one's going to go get an offensive lineman.
And listen, credit where credit's due, they did play well enough in the second half.
Yeah.
That play, Caleb stepped in with pressure, nailed that throw to DJ, and then on that touchdown run, Coleman Shelton got up to the second level, Braxton Jones second level, and Komet made a great block.
Komet had an awesome block.
And here's where I'm at too with the offensive line. I think that you guys would probably agree. Like after the Texans game, my fear was this is going to be so atrocious that he gets sacked like 90 times and it like fucks him up.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
Just play better than that.
Yeah, and they did.
They're not going to be great.
did.
They're not going to be great. It's not going to be a strength of the team. Just play better than that so he's not just every single snap running for his life and getting hit like 15 times a game.
Right. You don't want to see him post like the
Right.
Darnold thing where it's just like,
And they did.
Yeah.
I was
Just
very,
keep
very
him alive.
pleased.
Keep him alive.
Very pleased and like semi-proud that they answered the bell like that.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, definitely.
Agreed. We should talk about the MVP of the game, Tory
Yeah.
Taylor.
He's a stud. He's a weapon.
I have a question. Is it weird that I get a little excited for punts?
I said that on PMT. I was like, I don't want to punt, but when he's punting,
get a
I'm
little
like, dude,
like,
watch
ooh.
this.
Yeah,
see
right.
how far he can go.
The one that went like 58 yards and then took a right turn at the 5-yard line.
Yeah, the 66-yarder to put him at the 8 with
Yeah.
like in the fourth quarter. I saw it. It was the win expectancy, which is always bullshit.
Yeah.
But the win expectancy went from 75% to 83% on that punt. Like that's why you take a punter of his caliber in the fourth round, which I know. Obviously, people will say, well, you could have taken an offensive lineman. I don't know, man. That like being able to control the field and flip the field the way that this guy can flip the field is such an insane like bonus that you don't see in, people think offense, defense, like flipping the field in field position is so crucial, especially in that situation where we're just like, we kept on not being able to ice the game out and being able to put them in a spot where the Rams had no chance of scoring a touchdown. Like that, that's the difference in a game.
It like changes because now like the analytics they suggest like, oh, even if you're on your own 40, you should go for it fourth and short. Like that's what like the new modern, like that's what the analytics say. I think he like changes that whole narrative.
Right. And it works perfectly with our defense.
Yes.
Because I don't care who it is. It could be Josh Rosen. It could be Matthew Stafford. When you're dropping back to the one close to the end zone behind you, there's a mental block.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, I think he did 5 punts within the 20.
Yeah.
He's awesome.
On the 66-yarder, it went above the camera, and the guy receiving the punt just turned around and started sprinting backwards.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
Yeah, he's a weapon.
Yeah, he's great. I also want to talk about the front four on defense. Like, you want to talk about a unit that everyone pointed their fingers at. Like, I don't know if we did enough there.
Yeah.
They've stepped up tremendously.
Yeah.
Javon Dexter was the offseason hype machine.
Yep.
And he's lived up to every single
sure
second.
He had
has.
a sack in every game.
At least 3 of the 4.
Yeah.
I don't know if he had one week 1.
Okay.
At the last 3, I'm pretty
he
sure.
had one at least, yeah.
Yeah.
Obviously, Montez Sweat is the guy who you ride the back of. And then Darrell Taylor has been.
Yeah.
He's been pretty good.
Really, really good. That was a great Poles move right before the season started.
Yeah.
Even Booker's look good.
Yeah.
Like, and he fucking hits people too.
He likes to hit. His
coming back
pursuit,
on like screens and stuff where it's like if you get caught in his way, like you're knocked out.
And then our DBs are just a bunch of football players.
Oh,
They're dogs.
You know?
Briscoe was
Con,
everywhere.
he's just awesome.
Like it was great to watch.
Yeah. It is something where the offensive line was completely the opposite way. The D line has been
Yeah.
Billings got
Andrew, you
Billings
have to
has been
give Andrew
great,
Billings.
yes.
He's been outstanding. The entire defensive line.
I can't believe that front four. How good they've been.
So right now 2-2, which I think we all kind of expected. Well, no, I mean before the season, I can't remember what exactly it was, but I think I had the Colts as a win and the Rams maybe as a loss.
Yeah, I think so.
This is the stretch though. There's a 5-game stretch where the Bears should go 3-2, potentially 4-1. And if they can do that, then we're in the mix.
Yeah.
Because this is like, I think, who do we have? We have like Cardinals who look like shit.
Yeah.
Panthers,
Jaguars,
Jags,
Panthers.
Commanders,
It goes
Cardinals,
Carolina,
Patriots.
Jaguars, bye, then
Commanders.
Who look obviously
Cardinals,
better than we expected.
Right.
Cardinals, Patriots. Like those are games that we should be the better team on the field outside the Commanders. Where like if we're thinking about potentially sneaking into the playoffs, which I'm not ruling out, you have to go, like I said, 4-1 or 3-2 in this stretch.
And I think you're right. And it starts with this game because let's call it how it is. You got to be the Rams if they don't have Puka and Cooper Kupp.
Yeah.
Or you're never going to beat a team like that.
That's that's why the schedule, doing the schedule before the season is always so stupid because like we didn't expect the Commanders to look like this.
No.
That's a game that I probably have a loss now. But we also didn't expect the Rams to have no Puka and no Cooper Kupp.
Right.
So
that helps.
go work your way.
Yeah,
It does.
It did feel like who was the was it Worthington, the Texas rookie who I think he had 7-8 catches in that game. It's like how do they keep doing that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Sean McVay's just a really good coach.
He's a genius.
Hey, let's take a break to talk about DraftKings. TD, Tutty, taking it to the house, in for 6, whatever you call a touchdown. One thing's for sure, touchdowns matter more at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sportsbook partner of the NFL. On the ground, in the air, from the special teams to the defense, we don't care how you score them. We want to bet on touchdowns, and DraftKings Sportsbook is delivering. Ready to place your first bet? Try betting on something simple, like picking a player to score a touchdown or how many touchdowns will be in a game. Go to DraftKings Sportsbook app and make your pick. I saw Kenneth Walker as plus 100 anytime scorer tonight.
Like that.
Football.
I love Kenneth Walker.
I do too.
He's a stud.
Yeah.
He's a bully. He didn't play last week, I believe, too.
Correct.
So he kind of feels prime for one, but who knows? Obviously, bet responsibly. Do your research and, no advice on anything. I'm just looking at that. I am still alive in the Survivor pool, too, by the way.
There you go.
I'm still going. The crown is yours. Ready to do a touchdown dance of your own? New DraftKings customers bet $5 and get $200 in bonus bets instantly. Score big with the DraftKings Sportsbook app, the number one place to bet touchdowns. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code MID. That's code MID for new customers to get $200 in bonus bets when you bet just $5. Only on DraftKings. The crown is yours.
What'd you guys think about Caleb's two-handed fist pump walking off the field? It was awkward. I'll call it like it is. It was awkward. I think it's impossible to do a two-handed fist pump and not look awkward. You have to keep it here.
Yeah.
You have to keep it here. The minute you go over your head,
Oh, yeah.
you're gonna look goofy. You're just gonna look goofy.
You're like a
Oh
dad.
no, I'm watching it now. That's not bad.
You're a dad. You're a
That's not
dad.
that
It's
bad.
goofy. The jump. Listen, we have to
It's
be.
pretty close to Michael Scott raising the
Dave,
roof.
we have to. This is
That's
where
what it reminds
this is
me of.
where people are like. We're obviously biased, but this is where people need us to be unbiased. That was a goofy moment. That was an auraless moment.
Listen, though, I've come to grips that Caleb and I are probably not the same type of guy.
Correct.
But I respect him and I love him as my own.
You get caught up in emotion. I mean, Hank. We gave Hank a bunch of shit for his two-handed fist bump. It's hard to do.
Listen, no.
first-
I am gonna break this down like
off.
this. He's holding the ball in one hand. He's going fucking crazy,
should've just
and then
gone
he
ball.
changes it to one fist bump.
He should have
Dude.
gone ball.
The first tweet that popped up for me when I searched it was Caleb Williams doing the Tim Walls signature dance. That's tough.
The hop.
He kind of is.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, you have to the only way you can pull off a two-handed fist bump is maybe standing still and being like, yes.
Yeah.
Like, but then you got to hold it. You can't go back and do more.
The vert also not great on that too. When he's
No.
Yeah.
I'm just calling it like I see
Yeah.
it. It was goofy. It's okay
He's a
to say that
goofy
it was
guy.
goofy.
Yeah, he is exactly. He's just a goofy guy.
Yeah.
Is
kind of a goof.
Are we in the midst of a possible Andy Dalton revenge game?
Oh.
He lit it up the first week. What did he do yesterday?
He was pretty good yesterday. I mean, the Bengals defense is atrocious.
Yeah.
It's horrible. Yeah, it's maybe the worst in football.
But yeah, he
At
might
least
he,
by
it
my
might be a
eyes.
revenge game.
I do hate that it's not as much of a walk in the park as we thought it was.
I
gonna
know.
No, definitely not. Andy Dalton gives them competency that they did not have with Bryce Young.
I do think it's going from the Bengals to our defense is
It's
Big difference.
monumental.
it is.
Big
step up.
difference.
Yeah.
Big difference. Yeah, I mean, Deontay Johnson has looked good in that offense now.
Yeah.
And Andy Dalton's playing, and I think Thielen is probably still out, which helps. But yeah, it's not. I really wish Bryce Young was playing.
Yeah.
That would have been nice.
Dalton, yeah, he
Sweat
was
can have something to say about that early.
Are we home next week?
Yes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Right.
Home
Yeah.
again.
Home,
We're gonna
noon
want it.
slot. It's going to
Yep.
be great.
Exactly.
Yeah. And then we're doing a watch party for the Jaguars game at Cody's.
Oh,
at,
nice.
At 8 in the morning.
8 in the
Oh,
morning.
hell yes.
Yeah.
I got to try to stop by.
Yeah.
That'll be fun.
I love Cody's.
Cody's is awesome.
I haven't
Right.
been in a minute.
Yeah.
I'm going to see
Not
if I
since
can
last
do that.
year, yeah.
I think I'm going to Red River. Is that next weekend?
It's 2
Like,
weeks from
not
now.
this week, but the week after?
Yeah.
October 13th.
Yeah, that's Red River, so I'm going
Yes.
to be in Texas.
Ed and I have a
Saturday.
wedding the night before. So
Really?
we're going to be coming straight from the wedding.
In New Buffalo, so it's going to be
Ah.
a nice
Oh,
nice
that's
drive.
beautiful.
Straight to Cody's.
Yeah.
bad
New Buffalo in
drive.
September.
Oh.
Beautiful.
Yeah,
Do you lose
exactly.
an hour in New Buffalo?
Yes,
Yeah.
right as you cross.
Right.
Yeah.
Literally like 2 minutes before
Yeah.
Yeah.
you lose the hour.
Mhm.
But it's
So
nice
that
coming
sucks.
back. Well, no, but it's nice coming back.
Yeah.
Oh, no, you get it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
get it
yeah.
back coming back.
Huge.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's big. As
a
long as
big
there's not
thing.
traffic. But yeah, I'm pumped. Look, the division looks more difficult than I expected. The Vikings.
Hey, that's fine. I like it. Embrace the challenge.
Dude, it's murder.
It's going to be
it is.
very hard to make the playoffs. I'm just resetting my brain. Like, it's going to be hard to make the playoffs because we play after week 10. We play all 6 of our division games, and every team right now is better than us.
Yeah.
That's just a fact.
I do think Sam Darnold has to come back to earth a little bit.
I don't know, man.
He has to.
I'm buying all the Vikings.
Those
stock.
quarterbacks, I mean, those wide receivers are so
They are.
fucking
Yeah, they
good.
are.
They make every catch. Not that he's not playing well, but like, it's
The one to Jefferson, kind of at the goal line, was like,
yeah. He's playing his balls off.
Yeah, he
Ryan
is.
Flores is coaching a great defense.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Jordan Love. That was scary that he caught fire at the end of the game. Felt like he wasn't ready to play
I
the
was
first half.
terrified.
Yeah, that's my hot take of week 4. Looking way ahead because I don't think we get to the division until week 11. Is I think we have a better chance to split against the Packers than win either game against Minnesota.
Wow.
I'm that high on Minnesota.
Minnesota.
Their defense is for real. They're well
their
coached.
defense is awesome.
They got the weapons.
They do
and,
have
Darnold
weapons.
played well. I think I'm really like Minnesota's good.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
listen,
They are.
I think we're looking at all the teams in the division. Like, if you told me right
We're
now,
looking up at
2
all.
and 4 against the division, I'd be like, that's pretty damn good.
Yeah.
3 and 3 or anything better is like, holy shit.
Yeah,
We're for
but
real.
that's why we got to take care of business in the first half. here.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, this is the moment. This is the stretch that the Bears have to if they don't come away above 500 after this stretch, then there's no chance at the playoffs, and it's all about next year, which it was always going to be a little bit
Yeah.
all about next year. But that's really where it comes down to is like you have to win the games you're supposed to win. Otherwise, there's just no chance. I love how the schedule's set up, though.
Yeah.
I like that we don't play division till week 10 because I do really think that Caleb, like if you've watched him, he's gotten better every single week. The last 2 weeks, he's been his like completion percentage, I think, is close to 70%. And outside of the interceptions in the Indy game, he's played pretty damn good ball.
Yeah.
The offense is just smarter this week. Like,
Yeah.
how many times do you throw the ball in Indy?
A lot.
54,
53.
many.
Yeah. Yeah.
Give me 23 all day.
Yeah.
You know,
30 is like fucking you're coming
Yeah.
from behind and you're airing it out. Yeah.
that's fine.
That was the craziest thing about Jordan Love's stat line yesterday. He was
54,
like,
yeah.
He was like 36 for 54, 4 touchdowns, 3 picks. He was the
It was
first.
like a Brett Favre game.
He was literally the first guy to
Yeah.
do, first Packer to do 4 touchdowns, 3 picks since Favre did it in '99, and he wore a Favre jersey before the game. So it was a nice tribute.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it definitely is.
yeah.
I don't know, man. I don't think we win that game in previous years. Like I think the Bears-
Yesterday?
the Bears
Yeah.
find a way to.
I'd agree with
kind
that.
of give
Yeah.
it away.
I mean,
Yeah.
They were efficient.
the punting.
That's like the word. They were efficient on offense, and they took care of the ball.
yeah, they had the little
They-
bend, don't break going on defense.
Yeah.
They were moving a little bit.
I got a question for you guys, because the other game, the Steelers obviously lost to the Colts. The Steelers defense took a step back, but Justin Fields looked really good. Is there any part of you guys that's rooting against Justin Fields? Because there's 0% for me.
I'm like 10.
Really?
15, yeah.
I'm not, but I'm interested. You just said 10 because I think it's higher than 10.
I don't care so long as if Caleb Williams was asked yesterday, I would have been box score checking and praying to God he throws a pick every time he dropped back. He didn't, so I didn't.
I'm not rooting against him, but I don't want to hear it on Twitter.
I'm rooting against those people.
Yeah,
yes.
like I don't want to. No matter what Justin Fields becomes, I do think that this was the right move from a contract status, the whole thing. But when he throws for 360,
I don't know. Maybe I'm just.
The interception at the end,
and
I kind of did a fist bump to myself when he threw that pick.
Maybe I'm numb to it, or the fact that like it was always a no-brainer to me because we had seen enough Justin Fields. And again, we've done this a million times. Like the Bears failed Justin Fields as much as he failed
Totally.
here. Like it was the organization failing him more than anything. So I just don't. I'm like, I weirdly am kind of rooting for him. And not only that, we do get a 4th round pick.
Right.
That's true.
Fourth round pick if he plays the whole season.
And it's looking like he's gonna kind of cuck Wally Pitt. What's his face, right?
Yeah, Russell Wilson. I know people will think it's bullshit, but I just don't, because he was a dude that was dealt a really shitty hand. When he came here, he was like, the transition. He got drafted by a guy who then got fired. All that stuff, like. There's just no part of me, like he's a great guy, and I just find myself being like, I'm not mad whatsoever. I'm rooting for him, and then because it also makes it easy that all the trolls are like, they completely just change. They're like, I saw someone the other day was like, you could add Marvin Harrison and Joe Alt. Yeah. And I was like, what? Joe Alt didn't last till 9. Right. What are you talking about? Yeah. Like this is not even close to like they're just the fan fiction that happens about like what the Bears could have been is so out of control that I just don't find myself ever rooting against Justin Fields. I don't know. Maybe I've just changed. Maybe I'm more mature.
Yeah, I'm with you though. I don't.
Were you rooting against Mitch?
No.
I mean, Mitch
guess
is
not.
different.
Yeah, you're right. I wasn't rooting against Mitch either.
But you have like a personal.
Yeah, but I don't know. I think that like if a guy was set up like I think like Caleb Williams, if next year we fix the offensive line and everything, and he's not good, and it goes south. Maybe I'd root against him because I'd just be like, "What the fuck? You actually were you were handed like a pretty good team." But yeah, Justin Fields he was handled a terrible deck of cards, and I can't bring myself to root against him. And I know people think this is bullshit. I just can't.
I think I'm almost maybe the opposite, where if Caleb is not good long term, and Justin Fields is, I'll just be like, it wasn't you, it was us.
Yeah, no, it will be. Yeah, exactly. It would be like nothing. Like it will be just an organization failure yet again, where it's like, yeah, we're just doomed, and we're never gonna have success at the quarterback position.
So
speaking of fan fiction, though, what did you think of the Brady?
I thought I'm confused. Maybe I'm just.
I know that was floated somewhere.
I thought that we talked about that.
I don't remember that at all.
I thought it was actually something that was kind of well known that we were one of the teams.
I might have blogged it. I blogged it over the weekend. I think I blogged it.
I think it was just it finally came from him. He said he seriously.
But I feel like I had heard it before, so maybe I'm like when he said it, I wasn't surprised, and everyone was trying to dunk on us.
Yeah. I remember hearing it.
He would have hated it.
Yeah.
Because we weren't the Bucks were a Super Bowl roster. That was the year that we went to the
that was the MVP.
Yeah, they extended the playoffs and we got the 7th seed.
Yeah,
I immediately just thought of Brady screaming at Matt Nagy on the screen.
Right.
Like
but then Brady
getting
would have
pissed off at Allen Robinson and
I think it was Robinson, Mooney.
Anthony Miller.
Who's the guy?
Anthony, he would have fucking hated.
Oh my
Mooney,
God!
The one was it Miller or Mooney who dropped that dime from Mitch in that playoff game?
That was Javon Wims.
That's
Javon Wims.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, he would have hated him.
Yeah.
I just remember that being like the one time where I was like, I think it's probably over with Mitch, but goddamn, was that a perfect throw?
Yeah, Taylor Gabriel.
Yeah, I was scrolling TikTok the other day.
I could just see it in my eyes.
Yeah.
Like it just went right through his hands in the end zone in a 17-9 game?
Yeah,
playoff game.
Then he got in a fight with C.J. Gardner
and got that. I wanted to kill him.
C.J. Gardner Johnson.
I wanted to kill him.
Yeah.
That was.
I wanted to.
But it all matters on how you go out.
Yeah.
Right? Like Mitch and Justin Fields were just two really great guys.
Right.
If they went fucking full Kadarius Toney on us,
scorched earth, right?
Yes, then I'm like, all right, fuck you.
Correct.
You know?
Yeah.
Fuck you.
That's what limits it for me. Like it's parts of different things. I want the organization to finally be right on something. I want all these losers on the internet to be very wrong.
But I also just like the Steelers have Mike Tomlin. We haven't had a coach like Mike Tomlin since Lovey. Like we just haven't. You know what I mean? So it's. I know that we're at a coaching deficit every single year, and so when you ask a rookie quarterback, it's like we're doing it again right now. Where I wish we had a different coach, but we have what we have.
We're low key on a trajectory where it's like our quarterback choosing is almost matching up with our head coaches.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. I think
what do you mean?
Like ever since Lovey, Trustman, Fox, Nagy,
it's
like we're like
it's not like that. It is that.
Yeah, I know. We can't hire a head coach.
No, we can't.
You know,
and we always hire one who sticks around for the first year of the next guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I know
and leaves.
Yeah. Like I know Wani wasn't great. Duran had a playoff appearance, and obviously Lovey was.
Yeah.
If we're talking resetting expectations after 4 games, I think that the goal's always the playoffs, obviously, and always winning the Super Bowl. As Cole told you on the golf course, it's like, we only have a finite amount of years. I think that if the season ends and the Bears we're not talking about coaching and offensive coordinator changes and everything, that will be a fucking win.
Yeah, but I don't know if we.
So that's where we were talking about before, where it's like,
if they're 9 and 8,
what do we actually want? And like, would they they just extended him? If they're 9 and 8,
always that doesn't mean much.
It means something to McCaskey's.
Well, to the Bears, it does actually.
Right.
You're right.
And you find yourself being like, all right, well, we gotta. Like, I'm not going to root against the Bears. Like,
right.
we're not in a tank mode anymore. So,
but it's like, will they had the balls to fire Lovey after 10? Would they have the balls to fire Eberflus after a 9?
They're just not going to pull a Craig Counsell, David Ross move. Like, you know what I mean?
That's
like,
what it would have to be for,
And they're just not going to do it.
Offensive guys getting jobs.
So many. You need that, and we knew that in real time.
I know.
That offense is the way. And don't get me wrong, I love our defense.
Yeah. But it is like, can you find someone else who runs a similar system?
Hey, let's pause again to talk about Cars.com. Want to find a trustworthy dealer, dealership reviews from shoppers like you? Cars.com offers the latest research, shopping tools, and dealership reviews to help every shopper find the perfect car. Shop by monthly payment or filter by features to find the cars that fit your budget and needs. The car shopping process, Dave.
I'm probably going to be starting...
You are in the market. Let me say it for you. You're in
not quite. Not quite, but
probably also find the value of your car.
I absolutely could at Cars.com. Get that nice KBB value on it. I will be consulting Cars.com. That's how I got my last car, actually. So
it definitely takes away a lot of the pain points that come with car shopping, because it's not always fun. Sometimes you got to go to a dealership and you talk to people for hours and hours and
get
paperwork.
Bombarded with salesmen and saleswomen trying to get you.
It's overwhelming.
Cars.com.
It is.
Yeah.
So visit Cars.com and start exploring your next possibility today. Go do it.
Do we have voicemails? Yes, we do. Let's do a couple.
Fellas, it's the same old Bears we've been watching our entire lives. We're rooting for punts. We're getting takeaways, and the offense is doing just enough, except Caleb is masking this coaching staff's deficiencies. He is the real deal. I am excited. We are about to go 10-7 and make the playoffs. Mark it down right now. Go Bears.
10-7. I could see a path. Got to go 4-1 then here.
Need to stretch.
This has to be 4-1.
Because then you'd have to go 4-1 and then 3-3 in the division to get to.
Yeah.
And who knows? Like you said, you don't know the strength of teams at that time. The 49ers just seem. I know they won, but it just seems like nothing's lining up for them.
Yeah,
injury-wise.
That doesn't feel like impossible.
Yeah,
but it's out there. That's the other thing. Like,
the end of the schedule is crazy.
It's murder's row.
It's away at Seattle to end the year, right?
Well, no, it's home. It's home. That's a Thursday night game. But it's Packers, Vikings, Lions, 49ers, Vikings, Lions, Seahawks, Packers. That's
honestly
nuts.
It's a gauntlet.
Yeah,
but
I wish the Commanders and the Cardinals were at home. That would feel so much better if they had those games at home, as opposed to, like, I think they'd go to Carolina.
But I'm just thankful that it lined up that we have this early in that.
Yeah, you have a little bit of runway if you take care of business here.
Yeah. That's huge.
Yeah,
that's huge.
I mean, week 18 might be for the playoffs. for both teams.
Yeah,
That's going to be fucking awesome.
that would be great.
It's going to be awesome.
That has gone well.
I'm already nervous for that game.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll be at that one
Get
too.
to it.
Yeah.
Get to it in a spot where we're fighting for something.
It would be great to have that mean something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that I forgot how brutal that last
Dude, from
stretch is.
Yeah. From right before, like from that Vikings game to that first up
I
there.
thought the Bears had a last place schedule this year.
This is
They
the
do.
most they
I
do.
know. I know.
All of our games against last place teams are at the beginning of the season.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's nuts. All right, let's do another one.
Bears are back,
Yes.
baby. They're fucking back. Eddie said it perfectly. It's sloppy. Like Rico Benny's, but they're back. They're fucking back. I can't wait to see how Big Cat responds on PMT. The boys are buzzing. We feel great. The energy is alive. Let's go. There's also Hunter, the punter, the fourth rounder. He might be a fucking weapon.
Might be.
We got life, baby. Let's fucking go. Bear down.
How many weeks until Tory Taylor's is like the number one selling jersey in the store?
He might be
So
number 2
good.
Yeah.
coming
So
up.
good. It's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Mates.
It's so
Do we
awesome.
have any leads on the mates?
I feel like that guy is a little bit ahead of me in terms of we're fucking back. Like I'm not matching that energy yet.
No.
Not quite.
Very
No,
happy,
this is
though.
the stretch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
4-1.
Yeah.
Go 4-1, and then we're back.
Yep.
Sitting going into the gauntlet that we have at the end of the season with a 6-3 record. Like you have,
There's a gleam.
there's a hope.
Yeah.
There's a hope that you can if you're 6-3 going into that stretch, just play 500 ball, and you got a chance. That's what it
10-win
comes
season
down
right
to.
there, yep.
Right.
Yep.
4-1. That's the goal right here.
4-1. Have to go 4-1.
4-1.
I'll be devastated if we lose this game.
I'm sneaky scared of the Cardinals though, even though
I don't know, man. Their offense is broken and their defense
Yeah.
looks so
but
bad.
they like I feel like Kyler can just have a game where he takes over. But
Yeah.
What do we got next, Lance?
We got a guy who was at the Packers-Vikings game. He was a Bears fan, called in.
Oh, well.
Hey, Barstool, I'm at Lambeau right now watching the Vikings about to fucking win. I'm from Green Bay, but fucking bear down. Bear the fuck down.
I love that.
All right.
yeah, enemy territory.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just doing some scouting.
Yep.
That did look like there's just something about like these early or late September, early October games when the weather hasn't fully turned. It's just the best.
Mm-hmm.
Like when the sun's out, I know we didn't have it, but they had it obviously in Green Bay.
It looked like heaven in Green Bay.
Yeah, it's just like there's something about those games. Like I hope that it's nice out next Sunday because it's just those days, those October days. Oh, beautiful.
Yeah, the weather's officially flipped.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
which I'm
that's
good
nice.
with.
We'll have that late kick. We always do.
Yeah. We got one more, and we should talk some Kyle Hendricks.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Jerry's apology.
Yeah.
Yeah. We got
Wait, oh yeah, they dropped the fourth quarter.
yeah, of the Bears game.
Christ, what a piece of shit, man! I read that whole story on the Athletic that was nuts.
It was
just
crazy.
about how bad of an organization, like top to bottom, the Plains.
It's major league.
Yeah.
It's literally major league.
Let's skip the voicemail. Let's just-
yeah.
I mean, so Jerry Reinsdorf dropped an apology letter in the fourth quarter of the Bears game. Very intentional.
Second year in a row, mind you.
Yep, second year in a row. If for people who didn't read the story on the Athletic, you should go read it. It essentially just goes through the entire White Sox organization and everything we knew, but just mapped out that they don't embrace analytics whatsoever. They do like a half-assed job. There was a piece that was saying that they outsource their analytics, so you don't even like. Real organizations have their own analytics department.
So
they're just getting numbers from other, like a software company.
from
They're
what I
on
understand,
they're on baseball reference.
every team outsources to this same third party. Every team also has their own proprietary analytics department, and they use that information with theirs and make the best information possible. The White Sox were taking two sets of information and giving it to the people, not like
and they weren't matching. Yeah.
So it'd be like one pitcher would be like, well, this coach just told me to work on spin rate, and it's like, no, you got to work on adjusted spin rate. You got to.
Right.
So it's like it's.
Or like there was
definition of
there was a story of like one of the pitchers in maybe AAA was like in the offseason they just told him like, hey, you got to work on your command.
Yeah. Like that's what I was told in high school. Like, hey, you got to start throwing more strikes if you want to pitch.
Like, what is that?
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay.
And they got a shitty plane with
From 1988?
8 first class seats.
But this all came out pre-apology. So now that he's apologized, all this will be.
Yeah, no, it's
all
true. That was a
working on
heartfelt
it, yeah.
apology.
Yeah.
I feel like he's going to actually change now.
Yeah, probably. I know you're laughing, but you're a Bulls fan too.
Yeah, I know.
This
He's
goes
the
for them.
worst. He's the worst.
He's the worst.
He cares. What's crazy is he cares more about the White Sox, and the Bulls are still that's. I would expect the Bulls to be the worst team every single year with the
only
fact that he
thing
cares
that-
about the White Sox.
The only thing that keeps that from happening is there is a salary floor. They have to be within like the
Yeah.
same amount for the most part of every other team. Obviously, there's the teams that have the super maxes and all that shit.
Yeah. Well, he's never going to be a luxury tax.
But no.
Yeah,
No, he
baseball,
never
yeah.
is.
Or like imagine Jerry Reinsdorf being in conversation about the second apron in the NBA.
And he bought both teams for like a fucking bushel of
19 million.
blueberries.
Yeah.
$19 million in 82, I think.
And they're both worth billions.
billions and billions and
That's
billions.
insane. What a piece of shit.
I know.
It's
He really is.
It's very bad. It's very bad.
How the fuck does that guy get 2 teams
I
too?
know.
Like that's the part. Like he's just hurting everyone every which way.
It's very bad.
I went to the game Wednesday and Thursday, and just people care so much still.
And they won both, right?
They won both.
They won 5
I
last 6
solely went to see history.
And then you even saw like it was just the White Sox break the record for most losses, and then you get the Tigers out of nowhere, incredible run down the stretch to make the playoffs, and Jason Benetti in the locker room getting and like that guy is a like top class
With AJ Hinch.
top class play-by-play guy, and he basically got axed from the White Sox because Jerry Reinsdorf thought he made like too many quirky jokes.
Yeah.
Jerry thought he was a nerd.
Yeah.
It's cause
And then
that's
you brought in
exactly
a
why.
guy
That's
who's
exactly
like,
why.
who's just been laughed at the entire season.
It's so unfortunate too because I wasn't a Benetti style person. I was a Hawkeye, obviously.
Yeah, of
Benetti's
course.
the opposite.
And you
but
can't- yeah.
I respect the fuck out of Benetti. Everybody loves Benetti, aside from the old school guys like myself. But the new guy was like after the season last year when it was announced that Benetti wasn't returning, Brooks Breuer, the guy that handles all the marketing for the White Sox, came out with when the pitchforks were ready. Like, how can you let him go to the Detroit Tigers?
Right.
Benetti. It's like there will be no shortage of people looking to work next to Steve Stone, which in theory should be true. Steve Stone is one of the great color guys in all of baseball. I have learned more about baseball by listening to Steve Stone talk over the last 30 years than any one person alive. This is what they came up with. He was announcing slam ball.
I know. Why
Like
is
the
I don't
trampoline-
understand the Len Casper thing at all either.
He doesn't because Len Casper's from what I understand is baseball purist as it gets, and he
Right.
says there's nothing like
radio.
Yeah,
But like he's so elite.
he's
And
elite
he's
as it
just
gets. Yeah,
stuck on radio for the White Sox.
he doesn't want it
I know. He probably. I bet you he'll come back.
You think
to
so?
Cubs.
It's
It's
I
funny,
hope,
too, 'cause he
I
thought
hope
the
Pat
Sox
keeps
were gonna-
announcing forever, but he's also getting old. Like
Yeah.
that's not
He is,
a
yeah.
secret.
Yeah.
I would like to see him.
Move back over.
Yeah, that would be nice because that's going to be a tough spot to fill when Pat decides to.
he
retire.
switched because he thought the Cubs were like at their demise and the Sox were
I know.
on the way up. Man, bad
Whoops.
move.
Yeah.
Not that the Cubs really did much.
No, the Cubs didn't do shit this year. Kyle Hendricks, obviously, though, that was emotional. All-time Cub. The final end of like a full era. That's
Yeah,
it.
that's
the
the last
2016
piece.
team
Yeah.
it's over.
Will he get the appreciation that he deserves?
Yes.
What does that mean?
Like, for instance,
Like his numbers flying up there?
so for instance, like obviously Greg Maddux is one of the greatest pitchers of all time. So maybe that's where it gets skewed, but he still gets remembered as this Cubs lore, which I understand he won a Cy Young. But like, does he get that?
I think
kinda
he gets. I
comparison
think he
treatment.
will be like in the post career. I think he will be remembered as like one of the most loyal, like glue guy. Like his stuff was never overpowering, obviously, but I think he'll be one of those guys that like when you start listing Cubs from 2016, he's got to be what like the fourth or fifth guy said.
Yeah.
You know, it's like Lester,
Arrieta,
Rizzo.
Lester,
Yeah.
and Hendricks probably.
Yeah, like
Baez,
he's
Baez,
up there for
Bryant,
me.
Yeah,
Bryant, yeah.
But like he's in the top 5 of guys that I would rattle off if you were like, you know, remember
so
the
many big
16
moments.
cups.
And he's such a likable guy because he felt like he got the absolute most out of
Oh,
his talent.
yeah.
Like he never had, like you said, never had electric stuff. He just got out.
I hope he made.
He
a lot
didn't
of
throw
money.
hard. That was that ball
Right.
moved like
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he got that game 1 start against the Cardinals and the DS. That was
Yeah.
like
Yep. He's
very cool
he's
because
a dude. Yeah.
like I think we said this on the first episode when you thought it was his last start, but he made the jump from 5th starter to ace. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
He made
It's
76
cool.
million. Good.
Pretty good.
I was gonna be
good.
bummed
Yeah.
out if I looked it up and he like made like 30
Yeah.
because like he deserves. I mean, he was just, and I'm happy that it came back together because at the beginning of the season this year, it felt like he was gonna be DFA'd and it was just gonna be over
was
that
looking
way.
the
Same
Yeah.
thing last year too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm happy that it ended in a way that he deserved.
Now, is it confirmed over?
It looked pretty.
Felt like it was over.
Cubs,
yeah.
That'll be a little awkward if he's not.
He did say he wants to pitch next year.
Oh,
So
run it back.
Everything
I would
I've
bring
heard
him back.
too was
Yeah.
that even when he was struggling at the beginning of the year, he's like, I feel great. Like the
Yeah.
ball's
So
moving.
Then
it's
fuck it, bring him back.
I would bring him back.
You could do a lot worse for a 5th starter.
Totally. And like they have these young guys. I think that's what it is. They don't want to block some of their young guys.
Yeah.
Well,
But-
sign him for a year and have him throw 100 innings.
Yeah.
Does he want that though?
Yeah,
If
Yeah,
I was
he
him,
might want to have an actual starting spot. Somewhere.
Yeah, go to a contender.
He's like Mr. Cub to me though. Like
Yeah.
I can't even picture him pitching
I
somewhere
can't
else.
That
either.
would suck. That would suck.
Yeah.
But yeah,
What about like? Will he be like your Burley?
That's a kind of a good comparison though. In a
Burley
sense.
had a longer run,
yeah.
and he was probably a little better.
and like Lester has that more personality like Burley, I guess. Like
And
just
Lester
kinda-
was like the
Yeah.
like,
Lester was
and Arrieta obviously. Like, I mean that 2015, 2016 Arrieta was some of the best pitching I've ever seen in my
Yeah.
Oh my god,
life.
unhittable.
he was such a fucking man.
Yeah.
Every single game was essentially not will he win. It was will he throw no hitter.
How
Right.
dominant was
He would
he?
just be like, oh yeah, we're 7 innings in, no hitter.
Yeah. I feel like he had
He was-
like a ton of complete games too. I feel like that might
Oh,
be
yeah.
that, you know, where it's just like, 9 innings pitched and he gave up 2 hits.
I remember I went to his 20th win in 2015 against, I believe it was the Brewers in September, and it was just so like he was a point like I would because I had my tickets and I was just like whenever Arrieta starts at home, like I'm going, like I have to go.
Yeah, it was weird. It's weird when you get a pitcher where you could set your watch and it's like, oh, we're good.
Yep.
We just need 2.
A stopper.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we
That
just
was
need
it.
2.
Mhm.
We're good.
Yeah.
And that was him.
Yeah, he was great.
All right. Good show, boys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Things are looking up for a second.
For a second.
Let's
These next two are
remember,
massive.
but remember the good Mondays.
Yeah.
We'll have some bad ones,
Mm-hmm.
but we have to embrace the good ones. And people will say, "Oh, the Bears still suck." Well, guess what? Right now we're 2-2. Had a good win. We've had, the Indy game is the one game on the schedule right now that you're like, man, I wish we had that one back. But the Tennessee game probably shouldn't have been a win.
Yep.
Right.
So it all kind of evens out. And the Texans, we never thought we were going to win that
Right.
game.
Yep.
So
Just keep getting better.
and and the other thing is we're not getting blown out.
No?
Like, think about it this way, all right? Put this into perspective. Last year, right at this time, I believe it was 0-4 off an atrocious game against the Bucks and then an absolute
The Chiefs.
emasculation against the Chiefs.
That was the last time we were at Cody's.
Yep,
That was 0-4. So, like, think about
was
where we're at
16-0
now.
at
Think
halftime.
about where we were last year.
Yeah.
And put it into perspective that things are starting to turn our way and look up. And, I know people are like, oh, well, you guys were so excited in the offseason. I'll fucking do that for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
Every offseason, I'll be like, this is the year.
That Chiefs game with the whole fourth quarter was just Taylor
It was
Swift
it was
shots.
like the coming out of like the
Yeah.
Taylor Swift. I think that was the
Awful.
first game she went to,
Yep.
and it was just it was the standalone. It was the CBS game at the afternoon slot. I think
It
there
was
was
so
one other
bad.
game
It was
on.
so
what was it?
bad.
35 zip at halftime.
Something
It
like
was
that, yeah.
so bad. And then we won a lot of games after that.
Yeah.
We did.
To his credit, I mean, he has done that his first 2 years. He's gotten better as the season is worn.
They
on.
were a nightmare this time last year.
No, Hank said to me because I mentioned that the players had like a meeting with Shane Waldron, basically being like, dude, you got to fucking get your head out of your ass, be more aggressive. And Hank was like, already? I was like, buddy, we don't have any coordinators that have had to leave under very suspicious situations through 4 weeks. We're doing just fine comparatively. Last year was such a debacle in September.
Yeah.
Like that was essentially the Trestman,
Totally.
ending.
Yeah.
And they turned it around.
Cromer talking shit. Like that was that. It was a clown car.
Here's what it was. The Packers, we opened with them. They smacked us in the second half. I think it was close to the first half, and they completely blew our doors off. Then the Bucs game, the Chiefs game, like we said. Then week 4 was that weird Broncos game.
Oh, so that was
that's
all
right.
right.
Yes.
They blew it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So that was week 4. I forgot there
I
was
don't
another.
remember that game.
That was the only time Russell Wilson looked good for the Broncos.
Yeah.
Second half of that game.
Yeah.
And then we finally beat the Commanders on Thursday Night Football.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they
And all we had to do was have
Smoked
Dick
them, right?
Butkus die.
Yeah.
yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Shit.
Fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah, Fields looked great. He had 335 for 4 touchdowns that game.
So yeah, put it into perspective. Things are looking up.
Yep.
Let's beat the Panthers.
Let's go.
Beat the Panthers.
Got to beat the Panthers.
Gotta beat the Panthers.
Right.
They'll beat the Panthers. They'll beat the
They have to.
They have to.
If they don't beat the Panthers, listen. What we just said right here, Lance. If we lose to the Panthers, just start the show with what we just said. That we're going to beat the Panthers, and then just have it be like, all right, we lost to the Panthers.
Yeah.
All right, good show, boys.
All right.
All right.